So today we will be discussing about arrays in C++. We have already discussed about variables. Variables means it is a single location where we can store data. Okay, and the variable will be having a name and a data type. For example, int a means integer. Int is the data type which represents integer, and a is the variable name which is used to specify the location where the data is stored. So this is how we store data generally in computer in C++ language. But many times what happens is we need to store a lot of data, particularly a lot of similar data. In that case, it will be difficult to have different variable names for each of the data. For example, if we want to store the roll numbers or say marks of a set of students, we know that all are marks of particular characteristics, say less than 100, and say roll number less than 60. So we know that all the numbers will be within a particular range and all are of a particular type. In that case, we can store similar data in a single name with the locations. So variable name will be same for all the roll numbers or all the marks, but its locations will be different. So we can see what is an array in C++. Array is a collection of variables of the same data type and which is having a single name. The example you can see here, int ARR10. ARR is the variable name. We generally give A, B, C, etc. Okay, here ARR is the variable name, int is the data type. If it was a single variable, we will be declaring it as int A. Here it is written as int ARR, then in square brackets, it is written the size of the variable, 10. Means we will be getting 10 continuous memory locations in the computer to store integer data. And each memory location can be accessed with an indexing. Here in this figure, you can see here, you can see a figure on the top right of this slide. There you can see when you write ARR of 0, you are actually referencing to the first location in the array. When you write int ARR of 10, 10 locations, 10 continuous locations will be allocated in the memory with the name ARR, and the first location is ARR of 0. There in the picture you can see ARR of 0 is the first location. Similarly, you will be having ARR of 1, ARR of 2 and so on. And the last location name will be, what will be the last location name, Steve? In an array of 10 elements, what is the last location? If the first location is ARR of 0. Is Steve there? Rohit?
Yes, miss.
Okay. In an array, we have int ARR of 10. We have 10 locations reserved, 10 continuous locations. First location is ARR of 0. Then in that array, what will be the last location?
In last 10 array, miss.
ഈ ബ്ലൂ കളറിൽ കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്നത് കാണുന്നില്ലേ? ARR of 10 എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ 10 locations are reserved. First location is ARR of 0 എന്ന് ഇവിടെ എഴുതിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. What will be the last location?
10.
First location is ARR of 0. We have a total of
ARR
10
of 10.
locations. ARR of 10 is the last location, you say. Okay, let me explain once again. We have total 10 locations. First location is ARR of 0. Second location is ARR of 1. Then the last location, the 10th location will be
AR of 9.
9. Yes, that is the main thing you need to understand and remember while you handle arrays. Okay, that is the key point. When we declare an array, say int a of 100, first location will be, that is first location will be a of 0 and last location will be a of 99, and that is true for all the cases. Whenever you declare arrays, please keep in mind that first location is the name of the array with in square brackets 0, and the last location is the size -1. Okay, that you need to remember. That is the first point you need to understand and remember. Now we shall just see the advantages and disadvantages of arrays that may be asked as a theory question, and you should understand all these things also. So we have discussed that array is a set of continuous locations of particular data type with a similar data, and it is having a single name, and it will be indexed from 0 to n minus 1. While doing so, the advantages are we can have easy access to all the data, we can have random access to all the data, and hence the entire traversing from first to last element becomes easy. Okay, and by doing so, you need not declare different type of different variable names for different data. If you have 10 variables, you need not declare A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on. You can just declare in the A of 10. So a single name is necessary or enough for storing more than n number of values. Say more than one value can be stored in a single name. So there is less number of lines of codes. So the program will be small compared to the usual program which uses large number of variables. Okay, then we can have sorting of data that becomes faster. If you want to arrange those data, if you want to arrange those data in a particular order, that becomes easy. These are the advantages. That is, when we are using arrays, we can have easy access of data, we can have random access of data, we can traverse through the numbers very easily. There is less number of coding as well as sorting becomes easier. When we move to the disadvantages, we can have the disadvantage is we have to declare the array before it is using. If you don't know what is the total number of locations required, that will be difficult. Initially, you have to say int a of 100. Then you can store 100 elements. You cannot store 101 element. Okay, that is the disadvantage. There is only fixed number of elements allowed in an array, and that need to be declared at the beginning. Then when we do insertion or deletion, when we delete say int a of 8 from the list, what happens is that location is still reserved for us, but we are not storing anything. If you want to remove any one data from a particular location, the data will be deleted, but the location will still be reserved for you, since at the beginning you have said in day of 100. So those 100 locations will be reserved for you throughout the program. So insertion and deletion of the elements can be costly. How it is costly? Those locations remains allocated for the program without using it. So the two disadvantages that is seen while declaring and using an array is you should know the size of the array at the beginning of programming. So fixed numbers only will be allocated. Then even if you do deletions in between the program, those locations will still remain reserved to you. If you are using insertions, you will have to do more number of codings to insert a number into the existing list. These are the disadvantages of the array. So As we have seen in the beginning, arrays can be of different types, one-dimensional, multi-dimensional, means two-dimension, three-dimension, etc. Generally, you will be requiring only up to the two-dimensional case of arrays. Then we can have character arrays. Okay, that contains characters, names, etc. Then these are the three different types of arrays you need to study, and then you need to study how you can initialize an array and how you can put data and manipulate data in array. And finally, there is pointers and arrays. Pointers, as we discussed in the beginning of our classes, that pointers are the locations which are used to store addresses of another location. As we have discussed, we access a memory location in computer using a variable name. If we say a equal to 10, automatically 10 will be assigned to a memory location, which is called as A by this program. Okay, so in addition to that particular name, the location will be having an address using which the system will be identifying the location. Okay, so that particular address can be stored in locations where it is needed. That is known as pointers. So pointers are the memory locations where we can store address of another variable. That you need to understand, and we will discuss about pointers in detail. So while manipulating arrays, there are many advantages of utilizing the feature called pointer that we will discuss. So we have discussed what is an array, how it is declared, how the elements are mentioned, the advantages as well as the disadvantages. Now we shall do a set of programs. By doing the programs, you will be able to understand how the manipulations are actually done. Okay, so these are the set of programs. I have posted this list of programs in our WhatsApp group. You can refer those questions also. Okay, so we shall do the programs one by one. So I'm stopping this sharing and we'll be switching to the compiler. Hope the window is visible to you. You can take any one online compiler. Can you see the compiler window now? Can you see the compiler window?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, miss.
Okay. So we shall start writing the program. Say write a program to read an array and print the array and the location of the element. Okay. We just want to accept a set of numbers in an array. അപ്പോൾ എങ്ങനെയാണ് അറേയിലേക്ക് നമ്പേഴ്സ് ആക്സെപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നതെന്ന് നമുക്ക് നോക്കാം. So our basic structure look like this. We have IOStream, standard namespace, then int main, and inside the curly brackets you have return 0. These are the mandatory lines we will be using. And now we need to accept a set of numbers, say n numbers. Whenever you want to decide how many numbers, you can ask the user how many numbers you want to input, and based on that you can accept. Okay, so I'm starting with say int n, and I'll be writing cout, enter the count, and the count of numbers. എത്ര numbers ആണ് വേണ്ടതെന്ന് നമ്മൾ ചോദിക്കുകയാണ് യൂസറിനോട്. Okay, then based on that we will be entering n. So the user gives us the number of count of numbers we need to manage. Okay, once it is completed, we need to accept those numbers to an array. In the previous classes, we have accepted a lot of numbers and done the manipulations, but each time the number was accepted to the same variable, say a, and we have calculated the sum, or either we have printed it based on whether it is odd or even and so on. So we have done a lot of calculations with a set of numbers, but in that case, each time when the number appears, it vanishes when the second number comes to the picture. Here we are going to store all numbers to the memory of the computer and manipulate as needed. So we will be declaring an array variable int. Say the array is having 10 elements, maximum 10 elements. You can have minimum 1 element also, or even you need not use the array. But when you type int a of 10, 10 memory locations, continuous memory locations will be allocated for this program. So now we shall start accepting those numbers to the array. So what happens is all the numbers entered will be stored in the array at the particular locations. In the previous programs, each time the number is accepted, the previous number will be lost. Here, all the numbers accepted will be available throughout the program. That is the advantage of using arrays. So I'm going to give a cout, enter the numbers. Initially, I have asked for the count of numbers. Now I am going to accept the numbers. Since there are a group of numbers to be accepted, I am going to use the looping statement for. So I need a variable to be declared. So I am going to declare it on the top. Even inside for loop, we can do the declaration. But it is always good that you do the declarations at a single point so that you can understand whether you are reusing a variable or not. Okay, by accident, sometimes we'll be reusing the variables. That can be avoided if all the variables are declared at the beginning of the program. That is a good practice. But when you become a pro in programming, you can do otherwise also. That is, you can write inside for loop also. Int I you can write. Okay, so I'm going to use the for loop for I equal to 0. Since the indexing of arrays start from 0, whenever I use arrays, the for loop will be starting from 0 rather than from 1 that we have been using in the previous examples. Whenever you use arrays, try to use the loop starting from 0 when you are accessing the index of the array, because the first index of the array is 0. A of 0 is the first element. Okay, a of n minus 1 is the last element. So in a of 10, a of 9 is the last element. So I am starting from for I equal to 0, I less than or equal to n, because I need to accept n numbers as per the user. Then I plus plus. Okay, so I'm going to start a loop which is varying from 0 to less than or equal to is not required, because we can move only up to 0 to 9. So you need not go up to 10. That is why I'm writing I less than n. Okay, because n minus 1 is the last index. Now I am going to accept the numbers. Cin. Initially, when we were using a single array int a, we will be writing C in a. But here it is an array. So always to represent the array, you need to put the square brackets, and inside that you need to put the index. Okay. So the index will be starting from 0 when initially I equal to 0, C in a of 0. Then I will be incremented, I plus plus. Then it will be a of 1. Then it will be a of 2 and so on. And the final index will be a of n minus 1. So by typing these two lines, cout enter the numbers and a for loop to accept seeing the individual numbers, we will be storing a set of numbers to the memory locations A0, A1, A2, etc. up to A of n minus 1. Now, what is the process we need to do and print the array? Print the array. It is asked to print the array and the location of the element. So we will write another loop to print the array. Okay, so I am going to give a cout to say the array is, I will accept the array is, again I am going to use a for loop. I'll be moving from 0 to I less than n to I plus plus, and I will be using the cout statement to print that. Cout, what I want to print? I want to print a of I. And in addition to that, it is asked to print the array and the location. To print the location, what I need to print? To print the location, what I need to print? Can anyone just complement this? I'm interested to print the location. A of I in location. What is the location represented by? It is represented by I. Okay. And say I'm giving a slash n. So here you can see I'm typing A of I in location I. Okay. So we shall just test whether the program is having any errors or not. Okay, some ports is missing. I'm running it again. Oh, I put it on the wrong side. Okay. What is this? So I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. What happened? Some syntax error is there. Okay, so here the array is here is the syntax error. Okay, so always try to type the program in any compiler and write it on the notebook. Otherwise, it may cause some problems. Okay, here codes. Someone can help me if you are looking at your screen. I don't understand whether you are seeing this or not. If someone can say in between or communicate something, it will be good. Enter the count of numbers. Say I'm going to enter the count of numbers 5. Okay, enter the numbers. I need to enter 5 numbers. Say 23, 34, 56, 78, and 90. Okay, and you can see the output here. You can see the output here. The array is 23 in location 0, 34 in location 1, 56 in location 2, and so on. Okay, I shall put some space here so that you can easily understand. And also I shall put a slash. Okay, enter the count of numbers. Maybe someone can suggest count of numbers. Is Srikanth there?
Hello.
Yes. Srikanth, can you give me count of numbers for executing this program?
It's in the numbers and all that.
Yes. Count. Can you give me the count of numbers for executing this program?
The count of numbers means എന്താ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത് അറിയില്ല.
You are not audible.
അറിയില്ല മിസ് എന്താന്ന്.
You are not attending the class.
ലാസ്റ്റ് ക്ലാസ്സിലായിരുന്നു.
No, I am talking about this class. Just now what I have discussed. You are getting the answers. Why don't you read out the answers for my question? Is Sai Kiran there? No. Sai Kiran is not there. What about Kevin?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, miss.
Is this Kevin?
Hello.
Yes. So Kevin, can you give me the count of numbers for executing this program?
10
Hmm?
10 numbers.
Yes, n numbers. What is that n?
10,
I
10.
have just 10. Okay, fine. 10 numbers. Enter the numbers. Give me the numbers.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Maybe some other random numbers.
11, 12, 15, 19, 19, 25, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10.
So here you can see, enter the count of numbers. So you have given 10 and we have started accepting all the 10 numbers, and the array is like 11 is in location 0. That is, array is having locations starting from 0 to 9. And 11 is in location 0, 12 is in location 1, and so on. And finally, 10 is in location 9. The last number of the array is in location 9. Okay, so this is what I want to convey, that when we accept numbers in an array, it will be accepted from 0th location to the n-1th location. Since we have given 10 numbers are to be stored, there will be A0, A1, A2 and up to A9. So this is what the particular program says. So you can note down the program, and you can write down the program in the your notebook. So daily try to complete the program in the class itself, so that when it is asked to submit the notes, it will be easy for you. Okay, let me see what is the next question. The next question is read an array and print the array in reverse order. Okay, so let me put the question there. Read an array and print the array in reverse order. Okay, so you can see the question at the top of the window, and here also we need to read an array. To read an array, it is the set of instructions. First of all, to read an array of n numbers, you have to ask what is the count of numbers. So this will be there. Then using a loop, you have to accept. So to read an array, you have to do these, say, 5 lines. Okay, so whenever you need to read a single dimensional array, you need to ask for the count of numbers, you have to accept the count of numbers, then you have to do the for loop to see in all the numbers. So this is the sequence of statements that is needed to read an array. Okay, and this is the sequence that is needed to print an array. So in the previous case, it was asked to print the location also. So I have written there the location, and now I am removing it because it is no longer required in this program. So okay, so this is for printing the array, and this is for reading the array. These two set of statements you need to remember always. So we have studied a set of statements to read an array as well as a set of statements to, okay, this is the set of statement that is used to read an array. ഏതൊക്കെയാണ് ഈ 5 lines ആണ് set of statements to read an array. ഇനി അടുത്ത ഈ 3 lines ആണ് set of statements to print an array. What is this particular question? Read an array and print the array in reverse order. Printing has to be done in reverse order. Okay. So you have to print a of 9 first, then a of 8, then a of 7, and so on. So by just modifying this for loop, instead of printing a of 0 first, you need to print a of 9 first. Then 9 has to be decremented to 8, 7, 6, 5, and so on. Finally, when it becomes up to 0. So do you have any suggestions how I can modify this for loop? Is Varun there? Varun Menon? Is Vishnu Sunil there?
Yes, miss.
Okay, Vishnu, in the previous example, we have inputted numbers a of 0, a of 1, a of 2, etc. and printed the numbers in the same order. Now we want to print the numbers in reverse order. So how will we do that?
ആ ഫോർ ലൂപ്പിൽ ഐ ഈക്വൽ ടു 0 മാറ്റിയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ഐ ഈക്വൽ ടു 9 കൊടുക്കണം ആദ്യം.
9 കൊടുക്കണം.
അതിനുശേഷം ഐ വിൽ ബി എന്നിനേക്കാളും കൂടുതൽ
greater than symbol
കൊടുക്കണം.
Yes, I greater than or equal to 0 എന്ന് നമുക്ക് പറയാം അല്ലേ? അപ്പൊ ഇവിടെ 9 എന്നാണ് എഴുതിയിരിക്കുന്നത്, അവിടെ നിൽക്കട്ടെ. ഓക്കെ, ഇനി I മൈനസ് കുറക്കണം. ഇത് n 9 ആവുമ്പോഴാണ്. ഓക്കെ, n എത്രയാണ് യൂസർ പറയാൻ പോകുന്നതെന്ന് നമുക്കറിയില്ല. അപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ ഇവിടെ എഴുതാം n മൈനസ് 1 എന്ന് എഴുതാം. മനസ്സിലായോ? Okay, so n will be decided based on the count that is inputted. So we will be writing I equal to n minus 1. I equal to n അയാൾ തന്നത് 10 ആണെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് a of 9 തുടങ്ങിയാണ് പ്രിന്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. So we will be typing a of n minus 1 will be printed first. വിഷ്ണു സുനിൽ പഠിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളതാണോ C++?
അല്ല മിസ്,
അല്ല, but you understood. I'm happy that you understood it at least. Okay, good. So that is it. അപ്പൊ നമ്മള് n അയാൾ എത്രയാണോ പറയുന്നത് അതിൽ നിന്ന് 1 മൈനസ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് പ്രിന്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ തുടങ്ങണം. Let me check whether it is working properly. Count of numbers. Let me do this. 45, 67, 89, 12 and 23 എന്ന് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ എൻ്റർ ചെയ്ത ഓർഡർ നോക്കൂ. 45, 67, 89, 12, 23 എന്ന് എൻ്റർ ചെയ്തു. അറേ പ്രിന്റ് ചെയ്തപ്പോ 23, 12, 89, 67, 45 എന്ന് ആൻസർ വന്നു. Okay, so this is how we manipulate the contents in an array. The most important thing is even after entering the data, it is available whenever it is asked to print or do any manipulation. So we have accepted the numbers in a particular order and printed the numbers in reverse order. Okay. Okay, fine. That is it. So പള്ളി പോവാൻ സമയമായിരുന്നല്ലേ? പള്ളി പോവാനുള്ളവര് എനിക്കൊരു മെസ്സേജ് ഇട്ടിട്ട് പോയിക്കോളൂ കേട്ടോ. ശരി, ഇനി നമുക്ക് അടുത്ത ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ നോക്കാം. നമ്മുടെ 45th question is to read an array and search for the occurrence of a number. Can you see the questions? All these questions are there in WhatsApp. I hope you can see the questions. The next question is read an array and search for the occurrence of a number. Search for the occurrence we have already done. In that case, there was no array. Whenever a number is inputted, we were parallelly doing the search along. Okay. Here what we are going to do is we are going to accept an array. Whenever there is to accept a single dimensional array, you will be asking for the count and using a loop and see. All these sentences you will be doing when you want to accept a single dimensional array. Okay, now you want to search for the occurrence of an array. So you are not asked to print the array, you are asked to search for the occurrence of an array, and if it is found, you will be typing it is found or not found. Okay, so after this line is not needed, maybe let me check whether it is printing. Okay, now I am going to search for the occurrence of an array. For that, again, I need a for loop to move through the array. I equal to 0, I less than or equal to n, equal to n, I less than I plus plus, and I will be checking if the particular number. So before that, we have to accept whether which is the number to be searched. Okay, but here I will accept, I will give a cout, enter the number to be searched. Number array accept ചെയ്തതിനു ശേഷം I am asking enter the number to be searched. Say I am giving it as no, and parallelly I have to declare the number no. Okay, so he has given the numbers as well as the number to be searched. Now I am moving through the loop. I am checking if the number, that is a of I, is the number double equal to no. This particular condition you are already familiar with because we have already done the search. There we have done C in A, and if A is equal to n. Here we are comparing with the array numbers. If it is there, we will be incrementing. Say, we can say we are giving a flag. Flag is any variable that is used to flag us or give us an indication where something special is existing or not existing. So initially I am putting the flag as 0. That is, I am assuming that my flag is down. That is, the number is not found. When A of I is equal to no, I will be typing flag plus plus. So what happens? Flag increases. If flag is greater than 0 means the number is found. Okay. So after the loop is complete, you will be typing if flag is greater than 0, you will see out the number no exists flag number of times. Flag is incremented whenever I find that number. Okay, hopefully it is okay, and I shall just run. enter the count of numbers. I'm typing 5 and enter the numbers. Say 23, 45, 67, 89, 90. Okay, enter the number to be searched. I am typing 45. I want to see whether 45 is there. The number 45 exists one number of times. Here I can type a slash and here I can just, okay. So it is written. I shall run it once more that say again I am typing for 5 numbers. The numbers are 23, 45, 67, 89 and I am typing 45 once again. And number to be searched, I am typing 45. Here you can see the number 45 exists 2 number of times. Okay, so as as and when 45 is found, that is A of I becomes NO, flag will be incremented, and finally by printing flag, you will get the number of times the number is existing. Hope this is clear to you. Can someone acknowledge whether it is okay or not? Is Saurav there? Sai Kiran?
ഹലോ ഉണ്ട് മിസ്.
സൗരവ് ഉണ്ട്. സൗരവിന് ഈ പ്രോഗ്രാം ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞത് മനസ്സിലായിരുന്നോ?
കുഴപ്പമില്ല. മനസ്സിലായി.
Okay. Okay. Appo you write down the program in your notebook and keep it with you. Whenever it is asked to submit the notebooks, you have to do that. So it is better you write it down along with the class. Okay. So I think we can stop today's class. And if you have any doubts, you can just text me. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss.